It ain't February, dog. We can't have everything till February.
All right, we rolling.
We can't have everything till February.
Welcome everyone to the very first episode of No Seriously. I'm really bad at this. I'm really bad at this because I am. And you are too, probably. And you haven't realized it yet, or you have realized it, or you're on your way to realizing it, that you're just not. But we'll get into more of that later. I just want to introduce myself. My name is Jerrold, also known as Selah. I know a lot of people know me as Selah. I was many years ago, I put out a lot of Christian hip hop music, and people knew me locally here in Los Angeles primarily. That's what I was known for doing for many years. And a long time ago, I did do a podcast about Christian hip hop, and I'll talk about that some other time as well. And I'm back to talk about more things because I believe that there is more conversation that needs to be had, and a different perspective needs to be presented, and that's why I feel like I'm here. So many other reasons, but I'm not by myself. I have two of my brothers that I'm so glad that are joining me for this because I love their perspective, and we always joke a lot, and we've known each other for many years, and I felt like coming together with these two, I felt like it would accomplish the goal of kind of changing the conversation or lending more to it. So who wants to introduce themselves first? I didn't really have that written down. Bookie?
What's up? It's your boy Bookie. It's your favorite cousin, your homeboy from the Hub City. You know how we do it. Glad to be in the house with my folks, Jay and James No Games. I'm just loving to be here with my folks.
Hub City. For those who don't know, what is the Hub City? I know what it is.
Oh yeah, Hub City is the center of the universe of Los Angeles County, baby. We from Compton. Yeah, they not like us. You know what I'm saying? They not like us.
So
City of Compton, baby.
So let's park here. Let's rewind this because this was funny. We can talk about this right now. This story. All right, when the whole beef was going down, I swear there was this moment where me and Drake knew he had won. There was this moment, and I posted it. Listen, I'm from the West, but I'm an MC at heart, so I'm just judging this as a rap battle. I don't really, have I kept saying I don't have a dog in the race because I didn't. So, but there was this moment where me and Drake thought it was over with because Drake says it in the song, like, nigga, I'm finna go on vacation. It's a rap. I'm like, that boy just did his rappity rap thing. I'm like, whoo-wee. Boy, little did he know. The CPT. And it was the first time out of all of those songs, Kendrick mentioned Compton. And when he did that, I was like, that's it. He set you up. And then he really got yourself when you did that AI thing, which I still think was dope. That AI thing.
Tupac and stuff.
Yeah, because I'm teasing you. I'm trying to make you say something. I'm like, well, what would you do to try to make somebody say something? Kind of low-key, drag Tupac a little bit, low-key, but make him say just what he did. So I'm like, oh, that's kind of funny. That's going to make a nigga say something. But oh, did he say something? Anyway.
It felt like the whole vibe was, hey, if Pac was alive, he wouldn't be silent like this.
Yeah.
You need to say something.
Yeah, so with that said, Mr. Who's Talking, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself? How will the people, know that
Oh,
voice?
yeah, I lurk about social media with the handle James No Games.
Yes.
You won't see me posting nothing, but I'll be in the comments letting you know how I feel about stuff. I don't really have nothing to say until you say something. So I'm a card carrying lurker. I'm lurking about.
You be saying
apologies.
things.
Apologies to whoever think that's a violation of social. It's just
because you've been saying things
to
our boy, and we'll talk about that some other time too. Our friend who is now atheist. We'll get to that. You know how that goes.
Yeah.
You always have your Christian friends who are now atheists.
Yeah.
That story. But anyway. I think the biggest story that's happening right now is this whole Diddy Little video. Oh, I thought I had it. Thoughts? Let's not get quiet, buddy. This was your guy, man. Mr. Take That. See it in here.
You're going to show us the video, but first, give us some context on what we're about to see.
It's all good. That's what I'm talking about.
Yes, Jake, this is incredibly disturbing footage, so I do want to warn our viewers, as you did. But as you said, Cassie's lawsuit, which was filed, let's take a look.
Try to get
New
to
surveillance footage obtained exclusively by CNN appears to corroborate some of the allegations of abuse against music mogul Sean Diddy Combs. The video, captured on multiple cameras,
as soon as the brother's
shows
running
Combs
with a towel.
a towel, assaulting his then-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, in a hallway at a Los Angeles hotel in March 2016. A lawsuit filed by Ventura in November last year and settled the next day referenced actions that seem to match those seen in this video. There is no audio. According
That's crazy. Look,
to the
wait.
complaint, Combs
This nigga.
became extremely intoxicated and punched Miss Ventura in the face, giving her a black eye. What
Okay. So you see your boy, man. You see them in action now. What's interesting is this video is old, and somebody what's whack about it is I feel like somebody didn't had it. Somebody didn't seen this. This is what this just come out now. How? When this is what I think they said 17.
Yeah, the cleaner paid somebody, but then somebody else paid somebody. Yeah.
So what does this mean for our boy? What's
Oh yeah, he's done. It's a done deal.
Is it Bill Cosby done deal?
I think he's worse than that because he ain't gonna have
Because he got a video. I think that's what it be.
Yeah.
Same thing with R. Kelly, nigga. Once you get a video, nigga, it's all right.
Yeah, but he gonna have to face the homeboys in lockdown for that one.
Dang.
Yeah.
Why you gotta bring up that
Think
part?
so?
He gonna have to. Oh man, there's consequences for those kind of actions. Yeah, I mean,
Handling women like that?
yeah, handling women like that, women and children. That's
still a rule.
That's
for
still a
a lot
rule.
of people.
Yes, it's still a
For
rule.
A lot of people.
Yeah.
A lot of people.
It might be a I'm missing you part 2.
You think he's gonna go to jail though?
Bad Boys can come out with that Every Step I Take part 2 because they're gonna be thinking about Diddy after that. Yeah.
But ain't nobody gonna be like, just like when nobody standing with Drake. I don't think nobody finna stand with your boy right here.
Oh nah.
Nobody has said anything. Who has come to his aid other than his son recently?
Yeah, and that was whack. I mean, you don't come. And first of all, nobody comes at the troll god 50. Like, come on, man. You don't go after the troll god 50. You go. He's the goat of social media trolling. You don't go. 50 posted the video for himself. Like,
Look,
here you go. Let me post this for you.
This is the thing. If 50 is posting and going at you, he got it. He got something. He's not wasting his time.
No,
it's like,
not at all.
nah, it's all bad, and here it is. And man, because he been on Diddy for a minute,
Right.
and starting a whole campaign. Did he do it? Like that's what you write. That's what makes him the GOAT.
Yeah.
Did he do it? It's crazy.
Did he do it?
Nigga, if 50 Cent and Trump got together, they could take over the world.
Oh, God, they got my vote. They got my vote.
Trump
I want to be the campaign.
Trump would pull all, his side, and 50 go pull all his side. Oh yeah,
I want to
50
be
was
the
my
West Coast
VP.
campaign manager, bro, for that.
They'll start a civil war.
Yeah, I need to be the. I
50
need to be the.
VP.
What's that? The press release. The
Right.
press release first. I need to stand up there and get an answer. You
Press
gotta
secretary.
Be the press secretary.
I'm
You know what I'm
serious.
saying?
They would take over the world, them too. They would manipulate online, and they would smash any kind of debates or whatever. Which is it's gonna be a trip because we're gonna get 2 debates, which is interesting. Officially, we're gonna get a
I read
Trump and
I read
Biden.
the headlines, but they said no audience allowed.
Yeah, that's gonna be the twist.
No audience allowed.
I can see that.
What is this?
Nah, I can see that.
Oh man.
Nah, I can see that and working that because you don't want nobody to rig the guests. And that's either side. Either side got enough power to rig all the people up in there.
I think it might be too easy for your boy Sleepy Joe to get distracted when with an audience in there.
Yeah, that is.
They probably would have silent room, put an earpiece in. He be like, yo.
Yeah, because all the meds they gonna have him on.
Yeah.
So he can do it. So he get through it.
Why I feel like 2016 all over again? I got these two people and I can't vote for neither one of them. That's how I feel. That's how I felt in 2016. That's how I feel again. Somebody else, Cornel West, somebody getting my vote. I can't vote for neither one of these people.
Cornel, we just can't understand what he's talking about. So that's my issue with him. I don't know what the heck.
I can't do it, man.
What is he talking about?
It feel like 2016 all over again. I promise.
Nope. I don't know. I do feel like you said though, like, man, I don't know who I would vote for. I don't know how this is gonna turn out. It's gonna be an ugly shootout though.
It's gonna be ugly.
That is towards the end of the year. Hopefully we, be thinking about the holidays or get carried away or something. But
Your boy is so delusional though. You on there talking about inflation ain't never been this low since what are you talking about? Like everything he says is like, what are you talking about, man? Like it's bad when you gotta have the undercover, the Secret Service agent dressed as a bunny rabbit during Easter ceremonies, telling him to get away from the kid. Like trying to get back. Don't say that. Like what's going on here, man? Oh my God,
it's rough.
Yeah, it's a little rough out here.
That's rough. So Diddy is a wrap, y'all. Y'all think Diddy is just?
Oh yeah,
it's over with.
Yeah.
So is the legacy spoiled? Are they not? Are we playing this music? We not playing this music? Where is it gonna end up? We've seen this before. We've seen big guys, in the industry take this fall because they did something crazy away from the stage. And now, since you see the video, like, let me pull up, like, what people were saying just on.
The man should have just been happy with his percentage of Ciroc.
This is just on the post I seen y'all.
Yeah.
In the land of Twitter, now known as X, where everybody got a blue check now. You're like, Charles Johnson. Who is Charles Johnson? This nigga got a blue check. Everybody got a blue check.
Was it like $10 a month to get the check now?
Yeah, something like that. I never want to see anyone support, promote, acknowledge, or defend this man ever again. Ever.
Yeah.
That's what people are saying. This is heartbreaking. And this is what so many women deal with while too many turn their heads away. And what's sad, because remember the story was, she just taking the money because it's a grab. It ain't really real. She ain't really. So a lot of people were saying that. Now you see it on camera. It's like, nigga, think about it. That's a hallway in a hotel. What you think he doing behind closed doors?
Man.
That's what he doing where some cameras couldn't see him.
It's such a trip for me because I notice how we give all of our celebrities the benefit of the doubt because they're talented in a certain area, because they're gifted in a certain area. We find a way to say, she probably just after that bag. Why she settled so fast? Why did she? Probably nothing really didn't happen. There's no evidence. We try to give our favorite people passes because of how they've influenced our lives and how they've shaped the culture, and we don't realize like a lot of times, man, we celebrate some scumbags and we don't even know it.
But
just because of talent.
I know, but we finding that out. But you're not gonna find it out later, and that's why I want to tell the next generation, like, y'all gonna find that out, but you're gonna find it out later. It's like we didn't find out. Like, you gonna get inklings of it from some of them, because remember R. Kelly stuff. How long?
It was back? Breadcrumbs the whole time. It was there.
Like, how many red flags used to come up with him? Right?
He married Aaliyah without the parents knowing.
Right.
We all let that go. Like, I don't know how that went, but it's they not married no more. We just left it alone because it was the songs was too banging. We just kept it pushing.
So this is not gonna continue to happen. Yep. I think it's going to happen. I think it's happening in every generation. I think it happened in generations before. You know what I mean? But now everybody got a camera on them. And so it makes it like really. And then there's cameras everywhere.
And everybody got a voice now too, so people gonna be calling out like you said, oh, we just gonna let this ride, we just gonna let them have this. You see how this man treat people, we just gonna still be dancing around. It's an interesting thing to have to get challenged like that. Cause we at the barbecues or whatever and people throwing on certain songs. They're like, oh, that's the bop. And then somebody's like, is it though? Are we still on this? I think
and
we gotta get off this, don't we?
And that is the tricky thing about celebrity is that it's fueled by people having to like you and like, your image. So what happens when something like this comes out? It's like you have so much to lose when something like this, comes out. But the right thing to happen is this to come out and you get exposed, because whether you famous or not, you can't be going around acting like this.
So, but my question is, are we allowed to separate the person from the music?
What you mean?
Just because,
yes. I'm gonna speed it up.
Yeah,
you can, because the music, the piece that he put together, whatever, is kind of like amoral. It's not, as long as it's something that ain't crazy, then it's like, it's a piece of music. It's like Mozart, right?
Yeah.
You can find out that he raped little boys. You'd be like, dang, I can't listen to.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I can't listen to that no more. Like, I'm gonna give it some time. I'll probably give it maybe a couple summers.
Yeah,
a couple summers.
That's how they did R. Kelly. It seemed like they gave him a couple summers.
It was like 3 different times we did that.
And then they creeped. Yeah, yes.
We kept doing that
because he brought me back with Happy People. I remember that moment.
He started making family reunion albums that we could play with Granny and them. It was like throw that on at the repast type music.
Yes, and that was because he was trying to clean some up.
But if that's the case, we won't be listening to nothing. Because you go down the list of your favorite gospel artists. Ooh, God.
All right, here we go.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. Like there's some gospel artists, and I'm not gonna jump into that, right? But there's a gospel artist, a very prominent gospel artist that I don't like their vibe, like, and they just.
This is the part that we don't talk about that much. If you looked at the churches that these gospel artists go to, and you can't send nobody there, and they fully endorsing these churches, and some of the places where you like, oh no, they not right. They way off. They not just different than us. They off. They out of pocket, and you find out, oh, that's where they go. That some people be online telling you, listen, don't play their music because look at what they represent when they get home on Sunday. And I'm like, that would really mess us up if we went that far into it. Some people do.
And some of them not even locked into a fellowship either. You find that out. Some of them don't have church homes. They not really accountable to certain people. And I don't like that vibe either. Like you being some kind of celebrity with no church home. I don't believe you can be a believer, and we'll get, I think, more into that in a minute, but I don't think you can be a believer for too long and not be connected to some local fellowship. I can understand being, in a season where it's like you just trying to figure things out and you ain't figured that part out yet, and I think it's grace for that. Right. But at some point, it's going to point you to a local fellowship. You keep reading, you're going to be like, dang, that's part of it. So to be an artist running around and never have that, I don't trust that. Remember back in Christian hip hop days, we were running around and cats who didn't have no pastor and people they weren't connected to. It's the same thing.
It was always red flags too. It was always like, wait a minute.
It's the exact same
You
thing.
don't go to church at all. Like you just do shows. You don't really have nobody that you answer to. And sometimes they will be honest. They'll be like, nah. Like, you working on that? Sometimes they will be like, nah.
And that's the flip side, Buki, to what you were just saying a minute ago when you were like, well, can't we separate them, the artists from the music? See, we do the same thing in Christendom too, because that'll be happening, and nobody will be challenging that, and that'll be weird. But the songs are so banging, and people are so, that's the flip side to that. They get a pass, and so much. I don't know.
My man Benny Hill was online talking about that the other day. I saw him talking about how a lot of times the thrill of ministering to people has like sexual energy to it, so they be needing some kind of sexual release afterwards. And he's like, oh, they should just sometimes they just go and fornicate. They just go out there and smash something, and they like. But that don't change how they serve the people in the service. These are two separate things. Like what you got going on in your private life don't have nothing to do with what you do when you get in front of the people. I was like, fam, we shouldn't even be listening to this dude. It's so many scriptures that tells us to leave this dude alone.
Yeah.
If we letting this man just ramble on about how he could have, these people could have any kind of, we could just do whatever in front of the church, and then when we get to our private life, we could just be raggedy. And people just listening to it, bigging it up. Amen, amen. I was like, yo, do you hear what you saying? Do you hear what you saying? Do you know what kind of people we gonna be if we able to just separate our lifestyle from our ministry? Like I know we all do that, but those aren't our good days.
Yeah.
Those are not the good days. And he was just making it sound like it was normal. He was quoting stuff, and I was like, what are you doing, bro? Do you hear what you're doing? I was like, man.
Nah, we gotta, I think that's again, some of the importance of us showing up online and pointing out fallacy and telling truth. And there's a bunch of people out there. I just think we need more to do that, because people are eating a lot of stuff up that it's not being contested. It's just out there, and it's like so it's just it's a lot of room for us to go out and try to point people in the right direction.
And it helped, man. I remember meeting dudes that was different from me, and I was immature in the faith, and seeing them move different, and it made me want to find out, like, what are they eating?
Yep.
They eat different from me. They got to be eating different, because they move different than I do. I would be making mistakes and fumbling through different stuff, not having grace, not having discipline, and I would see other people. I'm like, man, I wonder what they doing different than me. Why am I not able to master my lifestyle like they are? When
I look back, there was a lot of people, a lot of those people that you're saying, those people pointed me to community. All those healthy people that were like, they moved differently with, they never moved differently by themselves. None of them promoted that. None of them promoted.
Yeah, and then you would run across the people that was locked into like the healthy, what's it called, the health and wealth folks, and they will always feel strange. Like I used to work with a few of them, and they will always feel strange to me. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Why do you think you can declare something over me? Like, your words ain't that powerful, fam. What are you talking about? Yeah. And they would be on it, and I would be like, I mean, I would love, if I could vote in, answer this question. If you could vote in a heresy, which one would you vote in to the faith? I would vote in the health and wealth stuff immediately. I would love for everybody to be healthy and wealthy.
So you could just magically just get whatever you want?
Who don't want that?
That's true.
Who wouldn't want that? I would vote that one in. Which one would you vote in? If you could vote in something that ain't true, but you was like, I kind of wish this was true.
No, yeah, definitely that name and claiming joint.
That would keep you busy for a lot. Yes, you would be down everywhere.
Yeah, I mean,
every kind of car lot, every and I really believe this. And you was really cashing in and getting it.
Right.
Well, you
for real.
I don't know how long y'all think y'all could do that. Like, just go in and just name stuff and just get it. How long? Like, honestly, how long you think you could do that?
I go lay prostrate on that. What's it called? That new Tesla joint, because I see them joints wrapped up.
You'll be laying on the truck.
I'll be laying on the truck. Like, oh yeah, speaking in tongues.
Yeah.
Like, what boogie over there doing? I mean, all on the Tesla truck.
And then you rolling it out.
You know what I'm saying? Rolling it out. Wrap it up for me. I want that matte black joint. You know what I'm saying?
That's the one we would vote in, man. Easily.
That is.
Give me the burgundy. I want the burgundy interior. Black it all about burgundy interior. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know how wild we would be if God just gave us everything we could think about?
Oh, man.
There's no way I would have any discipline at all if he was just giving me everything I wanted. I would get lost. Just I need some more stuff.
All right, now, you know me, I like to nerd out on heaven. I believe that's what a part of heaven will be like, but we will have the capacity because we won't be twisted like we are. So we don't have to go prostrate on certain things. And I don't know. I think it'd be dope to kind of like everybody, because the Bible tells us every tongue, every tribe, and every tongue, right? And everybody obviously didn't live at the same time. So it's weird because there's going to be some people who didn't experience certain things. And if depending on how long the world keeps going after we die, it's going to be a whole bunch of stuff we didn't experience that all these other people, and then to get to heaven and maybe possibly be able to experience all of these things that happen through all time. So them ancient tortillas we can now, compared to the 2014 when in the story, you'd be like, "Where the mission tortillas in the story is trash," versus what the real ones, and they like telling you like, "Nah, we was making these." I don't know. That's me again nerding out on some heavy stuff. But I don't know what we was talking about before that.
Yeah. Well, my ancestors kind of like, I got this new brass chariot.
Yeah, you know what I mean? He'd be like, he'd be like real excited.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. But we'll probably be looking at it like that is kind of cold. I can see why you like that. Like, the wheels is. But then this dude over here got a spaceship. Like I don't know how that's gonna be. But
Kill my camel. They be like, oh man, you got that brand new camel?
I don't know.
Oh, you got 3 humps on your camel.
For real, just think about it.
Yeah.
Like if you live, and a lot of people did, they lived and died, and that was the most balling stuff, was to have a whole bunch of goats and camels, and so he come back and he looking for heaven to be a lot of goats and camels. Is like gotta be. It's all God. It's all free. It's unlimited. So I don't know. What else we got? I don't know. I was saying this a little bit before we started. I looked at this Lecrae interview with Black Chyna. I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna hit me with a commercial.
We gotta call her Angela White now. Angela White, she brand new.
When you started the OnlyFans situation, I don't know how much you can say, King. Were you making like?
I make millions from off there.
Millions.
Yeah.
For you to say I'm done doing that, something genuinely had to change in your life.
I need everybody needs to find me a bishop, find me a church, find me somewhere. Only thing I want to do for my birthday is get baptized.
What do we not know about the stripping world? Because a lot of people see it as glamorous. A lot of young girls out there like, man, I'm gonna get my money. The changes you made physically.
Yes, that stuff look crazy.
All right, you said it. I didn't say. So it didn't bother you then either when you made this transition and people was like having all these crazy things to say about you.
Oh no, I mean,
I feel like the elephant in the room, the men in your life, the famous friends in your life. What's the misconception? What is the thing that you kind of want people to understand? How do you want the world to see who Angela is?
Y'all want to see that?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say from what I looked at, or from what I saw, it's not. I don't think she gonna Kanye us. I think she gonna.
Right.
She might. This one looks a little bit more promising than, because once you get into talking about how you want to get baptized and you want to really go through these steps, right? That's you on something else. And in a genuine sense, like I just want to do what this book tells me I need to be doing at this point. So it's some of that in there. So it was good to hear. And then, of course, asking.
I feel like it would help a lot of people who are interested in that life and making them see, or giving them a chance to see behind the curtain. Like, hey, it's not what you think. Like, don't just think it's all what you see on the final cut of this lifestyle. What's really going on behind the scenes is much more realistic, much more painful than what anybody's going to really admit until they cross over to the other side, like her. Yeah. And then they'll be like, hey, look, it's not. We've been trying to tell y'all it's not what you think over here. It ain't that big a deal. Don't give your whole world up over this. It's not all that.
And it's a lot of that in there.
Right.
It's a lot of that in there. And so it's worth checking it out. And it's Deep In with Lecrae. That's the name of it. I guess you can find it on YouTube like that. But I found it by putting in Black Chyna and Lecrae. And it came up. So that's worth it. But here is another little snippet. Bookie, you played this, and boy did I laugh at this. I just set it up. This is Kirk Franklin was on Club Shay Shay not too long ago and made a statement about I could say one of his writing techniques, or how he composes some songs that people felt he could have kept this to himself. And my question is there any such thing as Christian TMI? And I think there is. But so you're going to hear Kirk Franklin's comment made on Club Shay Shay, and then you're going to hear another bishop's reply to the statement and how he felt about it, and it's kind of smashed together on this video. So here we go.
So many songs that have blessed people have been written butt naked. Next question. Really? But not one sock on. Out straight out the bed. But if you come over to my house, don't sit on that piano bench. Sit on that piano bench. That piano bench ain't had nothing but cheeks.
I failed to see what was so funny.
What was so funny?
It was so funny.
What I would have said to a guy who would say that to me is, hey man, TMI, brother. Hey man, that's too much information. Hey brother, where you going with that? Am I right, dog? Am I right? Just, hey man, whoa, what you saying? What person would say such a thing? And then say, if you come to my house, don't sit on that piano stool. What? Now, whether it's true or not, I'm sure there are songwriters that have done worse. I'm sure he's not the first one. That's not the point. They at least had the decency to not say it. At least. Because my brother now, if I put it on and listen to it, now I got to think a thought that ain't natural for me to think. But was he naked when he wrote that one? What?
Oh my God,
the man got a point right there. First of all, he got a point, because when you say something like that, of course, I'm a human being. I would think next time I hear a song, it ain't strange for me to think, man, was this one of the ones that he was, because you didn't said that. So what y'all think? That was TMI, or he just, the brother was like, because you see how it's edited, and in context, I'd like to see that, because I'm pretty sure it was probably them asking him to share something weird. You know what I mean? And here he is, him sharing something weird like that. Well, just know this: I wrote songs butt naked.
Mm-hmm. Like, was he rocking with his cock out on Melody's Method?
Yeah, some of these songs don't work right. Like "Let Me Touch You" don't sound the same. if you wrote that,
if you have nothing, you mean not even no socks? Man, that's a little weird, bruh.
Yeah,
it's not too much stuff I do naked. I'm just gonna be honest.
I Smile don't feel the same no more.
I Smile.
Yeah, I don't know.
Nigga, Stomp don't feel the same.
Oh, you got one called Imagine Me, right? I can't.
No,
that's not
can't.
gonna work no more.
No. We no longer can imagine you anymore.
Nah, he got the joint. He got the joint with TDJ speaking on it, like
911.
TDJ's there. Stop.
Hold me now.
Oh my God.
Man, they was trying to roast Jakes, man. Boy, he got quiet though. He got out of that, boy. But they was on your boy.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's a little too much info, Kirk. We ain't need to know. Yeah,
that was TMI. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go for that. I'm gonna have to go with the bishop on that one.
The bishop got a point.
I don't know why you
don't play that.
That's just it. Like, man, like he said, brother, where you going with that? That had me hollering when he said that. Hey, brother, where you going with that? That is so I'm with that. TMI. James, you had I just throw it on just to be throwing it on, I guess. But James, you have been grinding and you working on all kind of stuff, but one of your things that you did was this little event right here.
Yeah, we have a church that's kind of spread out. Like our people are in different parts of LA. Yeah. So we're LA church, and we kind of framed it as like a commuter church. We don't necessarily get to have the same kind of interactions with people that we don't normally come in contact with. If we don't have an affinity group that kind of brings us together, like I cycle with a couple of people, I play tennis with a couple of people.
Yeah.
Or some people might be in a certain ministry like choir or whatever, so they'll be around each other a couple times a week. We don't necessarily have that. We spread out from like Orange County to the Valley, like all over the place. People from UCLA coming down. So what we wanted to do was just put together a moment for us to all come together. It's really trying to focus on something youthful, something that our younger believers can really enjoy in a different atmosphere. Because the Sunday atmosphere is it's constrained to certain things. There's a lot of vertical stuff going on. It's not necessarily time for me to get to know people. Yeah. So we wanted to build something where we could get to know people a little better, talk and ask questions. So we have like little fun and games, food. It's like a late Friday night. We might do some different types of music playing in the background, some fun and games, get people running around. But at the end of it, we do something kind of like what happens on Jubilee on YouTube. The Jubilee channel has a lot of stuff like Middle Ground or Spectrum, where they have people talk about different topics. We have like an anonymous line where people can text in their questions. We got like 20-something questions last time. We couldn't get to all of them. But what we'll do is like if somebody wants to talk about this topic, we'll ask the question in a way that makes you either agree or disagree. And if you agree, like they do on Middle Ground, you come up to the couch, give your 2 cents. We throw scriptures up on the screen if you want to try to validate what you're saying.
Which was very dope.
And then somebody who might disagree or have a follow-up question can come up to the couch. We clear the couch after you say your
which actually piece. Happened, which is very dope. People come back with the rebuttals or just the counter, different perspectives. We try to make it so like the younger people, like the preteens, can say something first. And then once they add what they have to say about the conversation, then we'll let the college kids, high school kids come up, do their thing next. They usually add a little more depth to it. And then if there's anything that still needs to be clarified, then the older people that might be there, those that are out of college, can come up and say what they want to say. But the whole idea is for us to get in the rooms together. Like community is so important to me. I think the only reason why I made it this far in the faith is because I've been around other people. I don't think there's anything in particular I did for myself that kept me going. I think it was my community that really helped me hold on to my faith and grow to whatever capacity I'm growing. And Freedom Friday is really trying to give us a different perspective on what we're actually doing now that we're believers. Because a lot of what we hear is like, stay away from this and stay away from that. But there's several places where the faith is described as freedom. Yeah. You're free. Yeah. You're free. You're not stuck trying to do all of these destructive things that everybody else is telling you to do. You're not stuck to all of the vices that you used to have, whether it was drug addiction, sex addiction, or whatever. You're not stuck in your greed or in your depression anymore. Like, you're free now. Yeah. And walking in that is something that I'm really, really passionate about. I want to do that for myself, obviously. That's an everyday fight. But I also want to help other people see what tools we've been using. Some of us been in the faith for a while. Yeah. So when you see the tools that they're using to not just, like, some people think we just open up a Bible every morning, we're just reading the pages of a Bible. That's not true. Some of us are listening to the Bible on our commute. We don't have time to just sit for 60 minutes and just flip through the pages of scripture. Yeah. Some of us are listening to music. We may not always be just listening to the Bible. Some of us are listening to music. We're doing something to tap in with God and let this day start with Him in mind. Yep. And some people think all you have is a book in front of you and an hour of, just sitting in silent prayer. That's not most people's story. And some people need to hear that. So we want to have all that kind of stuff brought to the surface so you can see, okay, I respect this lady, and I'm finding out, oh, she don't be in an hour of prayer every morning either. Like, oh, she gets her time in with God on her way home from work. Oh, she's not even doing that in the morning. And how often, I don't know if you mentioned, but how often are you doing it?
We do it every second and fourth Friday, so there could be some consistency there. People can invite their friends, and it's a nice touch point to introduce people to a different side of the faith, because a lot of people are kind of aware of what to expect on a Sunday morning. Lots of singing, lots of praying, lots of preaching, lots of reading, but not a lot of interaction. So we want people to be able to come together, hang out, talk, get to know each other, hear some of these other aspects of how we live out the everyday Christian life. And it's been pretty good so far, seeing the responses and hearing people say like, oh, I didn't know I didn't know it was like that. I thought y'all was like just floating. I didn't know y'all was struggling with stuff like that. Because we get to talk about all kind of stuff. They asked about abortion on one of them. They asked about like different singing styles. Does that make somebody more spiritual if they have a different singing style? Somebody asked like, black people sing real hard. Does that mean that they love God more? They go harder, it seemed like, for their praise and worship. Does that mean these other kind of sedated music styles are less concerned about God, less committed?
It just means their life was harder. That's all. That's all. Them notes they hidden. Yeah.
I think the concept is dope. This is my first time seeing this. It kind of remind me, as you was talking, like, so I just got a new job, right? I just took on I just took on a part-time job. And they put me on like, not supervisor level, but right underneath, but right on top of the level 1 workers. You know what I'm saying? And I was just in a meeting, and they introduced me, and then one of the main supervisors there, and they had told the people that was in the meeting, one of the reasons why they brought me on is because of my experience in the position where I had a position that I am now with the county, and then I had the same position with another city. And then so they was like, yeah, we brought Lamar in because he have the experience, and he can bring us something that we don't know nothing about. His experience, he can show us how they did things over there that can help us out over here. And as you were saying, as you were talking, I was thinking about that, like all these different groups of people from these different churches. When you come together, you could say, what makes your youth more active in, you know what I'm saying, the church? Or let's take this idea, oh, y'all do this, oh, that's dope, let's put this together. So you got a collective ideas to come together, and now you have a whole, you know what I'm saying, broad situation where now everybody's getting fed, you know what I'm saying? Like everybody's learning. Because, you know, we've been in situations like, well, I'm gonna just speak for myself, like, we just went for what we knew. You know what I'm saying? As a youth, like, don't do this, and this is sin, and don't do that. You know what I'm saying? And that's all you do. But then you get, as I got older, and you know what I'm saying, and I've seen the way other people move, like, oh, that would have been dope, we would have did that. But I mean, you know, there's no knock on anybody's leadership, but sometimes people just don't know.
They don't know.
You know what I'm saying? And like, you know what I'm saying, when you bring ideas in, and that's what it reminded me, like, because this is a whole, these people that introduced me been with the city for like 20 years. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And I came in, I brought an idea. I said, well, y'all having this problem. Well, why don't y'all do this? And it was like, we never thought about that. I mean, y'all been here for 30 years, and y'all never thought about this simple idea to alleviate this problem?
You never know.
You know what I'm saying?
Man, you don't know what you don't know.
You don't know what you don't know. Exactly.
There's so many things that we don't know until somebody exposes us to them. You got to be in the rooms with people that have been through it. And what it really reminded me of is hanging out with y'all in the early stages of our CHH career, where we had all these moments where we were with our peers. There was a bunch of us, we're all 20-somethings, all of us trying to figure out how to live this life and how to still be authentically us. And we all grew up in hip hop, so naturally we all flocked to the CHH moment. And in these spaces, we met so many different people that look like us, talk like us, dress like us, but love the Lord. So it's only natural that I want to recreate that
space for somebody
else, for my kids and for your kids. Like Bookie, your daughter was there, Jay, your daughter was there, my daughters were there. And it just makes it so much more relevant to see it's not just the old heads serving God. It's not just the married people that's on fire for God. It's also some young kids driving down from UCLA. It's also some teenagers who, they're going to play basketball for an hour, but they also going to ask the questions.
And I think it's going to help normalize talking about the things of God, being concerned about the things of God. Because if you don't see people doing that and it happening, how do you when do you start making those connections if you can't be in a context where I can ask questions as a youth? Because one thing I did, I grew up in church. One thing I used to love is the moments where we could ask questions, where there were some people there, whether, and the level that Freedom Fridays took it to, where they can come up and ask questions. I thought a lot of people would be shy, and it wouldn't happen. That's what I was surprised.
So we did the questions anonymous, but the questions were anonymous. But if you wanted to comment on the question,
all I'm saying,
could come up to the couch.
That's what I mean is that I didn't think people were going to comment and come up and really, and people did, and I'm like, this format works.
Yeah, you had the high schoolers up there, you had some college kids up there.
And they get up there,
and then the adults came and cleaned it up.
Exactly.
If there was anything left that needed to be said, the adults would came and cleaned it up. But it was them and their peers.
Now tell me
that's dope.
Now just thinking about our church and all those scenarios that we have as far as, Bible studies and Sunday school or what have you, where is the context where both parties are talking like that, like you just described? And I think Freedom Fridays is very unique because it's offering that platform that both of those ages talk. Because you can argue that, okay, it's there at the lighthouse, but how often is that happening? And I'm thinking about all the lighthouses I've ever been at where that exchange is happening. I guess it does, but I think it was a little bit more casual.
Yeah, it's real easier.
I'm trying to say,
it's easy for
difference.
me.
I felt that it was a difference. But go ahead.
Yeah, it's easy for me because I just look back at the things that work. So I spend time with like some of the older heads and some of the Sunday schools and some of those spaces.
Yeah.
In the Bible studies and whatnot. And then I spend time at home with a bunch of high school and college kids. Because that's who's at my house. They come to our house. We got a bunch of kids at our house all the time. So when you sit around and listen to them talking and allow them to be who they are, to say something crazy and not have to feel like they can't really express themselves fully, it changes the way they feel about the whole conversation. If they know that they can be honest, whether they're right or wrong, this is how I feel today. Yeah. And they know that there's a group of adults, me and my wife, and my sister who live there also. And we just listen to them. We don't necessarily have to agree with them, co-sign everything they say, but they know they have a space to express themselves, and it just changes the way they feel about the faith. It's not just their parents' faith, it's theirs. Yeah. They also have the same kind of struggles at school. They have struggles on campus. They have struggles in their mind and their body. They got hormones raging. They have goals and dreams of being married and having kids and being successful in their careers and whatnot. And they want to be heard, and that's something that I think this moment does. It puts everybody in the room together, but it specifically makes it youthful so that the younger people know this is for you. This space is for you, and we police it that way. The first people who get to speak are the youngest in the room. Anybody junior high or younger, and we police it like that. They get the first word.
Can they come to the site and find out info about it yet, or no? If they want to know more info,
they can check out the church, cfbcla.org. And we had about 3 churches represented the first time, and a couple more are talking about coming through.
Want that to happen again. That is dope. I put this up online and throw this out. This is stupid, but we talked about it earlier. I think Kendrick and Drake just added to this whole beef season that's been going on this year. It's, Cat kicked it off. He started it and said that it was going to be some great reckoning this year. And my joke I put up, and we could just toss this around. I thought it was funny, and some of the responses I got online was funny as I don't know what. But I said, okay, with all this beef and all this stuff going on, what Christian beefs should we get started? Bookie, you put in Geno Jennings, and I looked it up. That's that mad dude. And Mike Todd.
Geno Jennings versus Mike Todd is crazy.
Oh my God.
That's a beef you want to see cracking, going back and forth.
Oh my God. Man, I don't know. I don't know if the Lord be edified in that. But I have my laugh for days.
Cause God. You know your boy Gino go light into it, boy.
Go in. Oh, Mike, and spitting in people's eyes and chocolate syrup all over the Bible and and diving in the kiddie pools on them. Yeah. Oh my God,
Why does that still work, y'all? Why do y'all think that like all them like kind of antics and stuff, people really still be into.
Part of it is because preaching be boring. A lot of preaching be boring. They be like, bro, put me to sleep. Put me to sleep. And some of it is not. It's not because the message isn't powerful or whatever. It's because like your delivery, like you don't care about the delivery. Yeah. Some people that I listen to, I could tell they don't care about how I feel right now. Yeah. They just gonna say what they feel like saying. So some of it is just you putting me to sleep. Yeah. So here comes this guy, flamboyant, dressed fly, Mike Todd dressed super fly, whether he got a stylist, somebody's got him looking fly. Yeah. If it's him, then that's dope. And that's so appealing to see that visually, somebody who looks like us representing God. That's always something that we want. So we can knock a lot of it, but he's on to something in that area. He's on to something where it's like, hey, that representation of the haircut, current style, current conversation.
I think it's the same thing with the suits too.
That makes it
I think they feel the same way. People feel the same way in that sense.
Yeah. It's a group. Like there's a uniform for my culture. Yeah. And certain people have that on, and that's appealing to me. Yep. And then you have that other part where he's using visual aids, and I'm my expertise in adult learning. That's what I do for work. And we hear all the time in our training how there's different types of learners. People need to see something sometimes. Yeah. They need to see the 3 main points that you're trying to make. Yeah. Just leave them up on the whiteboard, leave them up on the webinar, whatever you're doing, and just talk, continue to talk, but let people see what you're doing. Yeah. Some people are like audio learners like me. I'm an audio learner. I want to hear you. I don't necessarily want to look. I might look away when you say something important because I want to hear what you're saying, not focus on who's saying it. Yeah. It's all kind of different learners. So I can't rock with him. I wouldn't want nobody getting discipled by him. I can say that with no hesitation. But
do the gospel matter at some point? You know what I'm saying? You like, and you can do all this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But the gospel
got to be spoken at some point. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody want to be entertained.
That is, and it's just weird. Like when you really take a step back, it's weird because it seems like a lot of people just want to be entertained. Yeah. Versus it's like, I was thinking about this because people have said this from time to time, and it makes you wonder. You can look at gospel music and how much gospel is in gospel music. I'm not saying it's none. But just the plain gospel, how much of that do you actually hear? That people can collectively get these songs that you have on your album and be like, get a whole gospel presentation somehow. I'm not saying you have to. You have the freedom to create whatever kind of music you want. But once you put it in the genre called gospel, I would expect at some point somebody got the gospel in it.
Hey, you know what? It's funny you said that.
Or pieces of it.
Right.
Yeah, because I can't remember who I was watching, because I watch a lot of TikTok and Instagram videos in my algorithm. There's a lot of preachers coming up in different gospel segments and all that. Yeah. But it was one guy came up and said that the gospel music writer should be just as in depth in a word as the preacher. Yeah. Because when you're writing songs, that's ministry. Yeah. That's and when he said that, I was like, yo,
see, I can rock with that.
I was like,
that makes sense.
Man, he's like, you should be so in depth in the word, just like the preacher and the teacher when you're writing a song, because you're writing about your Savior. You know what I'm saying?
And you want to be as accurate as
you want to be as accurate as the word. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I was like, yo, I've never really heard it like you think about it, but you never really heard it like that. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know, being butt naked on a piano stool.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how much of that is lending to the conversation.
But you said, you should be fasting and praying and writing and I was like, yo, that's
your boy was onto something.
And like David was onto something. You know, the Psalms that he wrote, Yep.
I don't know, James. You got any other Christian beefs that you want to see get started? You had the old one, show versus Lecrae. That was funny.
Yeah, Show versus Lecrae would be funny, man. Just to hear them really talk out how Show, like you can hear all of this stuff in the interviews. So Show talks about how he always had a vision for more than just talking to the people who already understood the faith. He always talks about how he originally saw 116 going out to talk to people who didn't know.
Yeah.
And then you could hear some of the disagreement where they were like, well, let's talk. We can do this for the church. And Show's like, yeah, but we don't want to just do this for the church. Like, there's a whole group of people that can benefit from what we do. Hip hop culture needs what hip hop does. And you can see where it turns. So Show left and did his thing with his crew. He had a group that came out, I forgot what their name was, but he had a crew with Susie Rock and them, I think, and then left and did something that sounded much more like it was going towards like the Lost. And then Cray was still doing, what would normally sound like youth group stuff. And then somewhere Cray shifted. And then you can hear Show like, well, bro, I wouldn't have left if you was going to do this. No, I'd have left. I'm out here doing what I'm doing. This is what I was telling you the whole time. Like, we got more people to talk to than just the youth group. They already safe. Like, the 99 are safe. Let's go get the one.
Yeah, that was.
I would love to hear them have that beef on wax.
Yeah, that was a moment, and that was funny. Because I saw that same thing. And I don't know if everybody remember it that way, but it was funny because it was like, oh man, I can't do this. I gotta, it's more. I gotta expand. And then all of a sudden, Craig expanded. I think on Jimmy Kimmel. Like, dang, man, that boy. I guess he expanded too. All of a sudden, man.
It's funny though, because the creators, man, we be having it hard. We be like, I need to do what I really feel led to do, and y'all got me in this box. Yeah. And you can hear him having that frustration of like, we can't just stay in this box. There's so much more to do. And Craig was like, yeah, but this box is like, I think this is what we call to. I'm speaking for him, but it felt like that's what it was. Like, this is where I feel like I'm supposed to be.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he was like, you know what? Show you right. Like, let's go get this one. The 99 are safe. Let's go get the one. And then Show like, bro, you all of a sudden you #1 album in the world. What's going on?
That Show tried to put it together with Humble Beast over there, trying to, get it going. And I will commend the brother. He worked with what he had, and Show could always make some dope music. So
right,
but yeah, that was you want to see that cook back up. That's old beef, though. That's old. What they really need to do, honestly, is go ahead and just iron out whatever, and 116 put all their old people back together and go one more round, like all of them.
It really is two or three different camps. Because remember when we first started doing shows at USC, it was Tunnel Rats, and they had a whole vibe of how like they needed the 99 are safe. Let's go get the one. You could tell that's how it sounded. Like they would be at the break shows. They would be at stuff that was not.
They really just love hip hop.
Yeah, it was hip hop. It was hip hop, and we gonna redeem whatever's redeemable about hip hop with what we do. And then it was the other crew that we kind of rock with, like the Cross Movement crew. And we were like, yeah, this is a lot more edifying, I would say.
Yeah.
It was a lot more edifying. It was more scripture, more content. It was really more about what you wanted to hear.
Absolutely.
And they did not seem to get along.
Nah.
They did not seem to get along. You could hear I think there was little subliminal disses in some of these songs. Like they would say something about the other side. They'd be like, yeah, because we not just going to water it down. The other side was like, yeah, we not just going to act like we always perfect. Yeah. You could hear the two sides going at it.
Yeah, I always found myself in the middle. But yeah, it was the Hatfields versus the McCoys. I think I got that right. But yeah, it was always that. It was East versus West. It was that.
But I'm talking about the real version of it, where they had dirt on each other and they could really say like, nah, you didn't even want to do this show. Remember that? Like them kind of bars, like they was really going at it and telling all the tea. Like you didn't even want to do these youth groups no more. Yeah. And you just held on to it because you knew. Like I would like to hear that because they would have the inside information.
The boy said, I'd like to hear that. That is.
And you talk about beef. You asked me what beef we want. This would be the true beef. Like it would be dirt. It would be real stories. Like
you like, it's 99 going after the one, but your whole group became that one. Your whole group became that one. Now we gotta go get you.
would have to be the whole beef. Like, that's why your album flopped. Because you left the camp. If you would have stayed over here, you would have been eating. You'd be like, my album didn't flop. I did what I was supposed to do. I'm over here trying to make it happen. Man, I would want to hear it the way Kendrick and Drake went at it. I would want to hear, like, drag out all the dirty laundry and everything.
That would be bad. We would be locked in, unfortunately. But
I don't want to hear all of that.
Yeah, because I would be locked in. But
you know what you did to Tadashi? Don't make me tell the truth.
And I'd be leaning in right there at that part.
Like, wait, what?
What?
What did he do to T-Dot? What?
As much as we want to front.
Yeah, that sounds a lot messier than after I was explaining.
Oh, man. Phew. You like, you know you was going to go see him after the show anyway. You was going to see him.
Wow.
Okay.
Oh, my God. You know what that would do, man? Oh, that's not good, bro.
Oh, nah. I don't know if
I think I want to hear the beef of the ushers versus the hat wearers.
I do have a disc record. I think I played it for y'all a long time ago. I have to mention it, but you know, that's the kind of Christian hip hop collector I got.
I think I remember. You got me unfriended.
Yeah, I got a disc record from somebody very prominent. That's all I'm gonna say.
For somebody or from somebody?
From somebody very
Somebody went in on you?
If I no, not me. They went in on somebody else.
Oh.
But they decided not to let this record come out.
I remember you told me about it.
But I have that record, and I'm gonna play that for you guys later.
Yeah, you got a disc record too.
Oh, what you mean?
You put out a disc record.
Oh, I put out
a few.
I put out a few, but
he shot at a few.
But this is funny. It's just funny to do that. Like when I look back, it's just like it was comedy to me. Like, man, this is finna be funny. I really hate to do this, but it's kind of like I like to do this. This is funny. This is gonna be a moment.
It was funny
because you did be like, I'm really upset. Like for really, like I'm really doing this because you have. You know, made me upset. And then the nerve to see him years, maybe a year later, and then coming up to me and want to hug me like it's, you know, all good. I thought that was weird. But it was somebody's memorial celebration. So how do you feel about that?
Way to behave.
But anyway, I mean, that
y'all wouldn't want to beef y'all don't want to have the ushers beefing with the hat wearers?
Nah, I put that up. The meme ushers, they gotta go. And then I said the person who making the sweet punch, church punch, they gotta go. We gotta handle them. There's too many of us got diabetes at this point. Yeah, you trying to off us at this point with that punch.
We had it at work a couple months ago. I was like, man, who over here go to church?
Exactly. We
like,
know it.
They had the Smart and Final concentrated juice with some Sprite, and
there you go.
I'm like, did y'all put some water in this at all?
That's the formula. That is the church punch. Listen to me clearly,
bro. This is straight concentrated in Sprite.
That's it. It is concentrated punch. Think of any concentrated. Sometimes it's the kind that got the that's like pineapple, or something. And then it's always the classic, you know, fruit punch, syrup, and all they do is just add 7-Up. Now, when I think back, I'm like, that's crazy. You gotta add some water, a little bit. If you, I hope they did. But when you hit it, when you taste it, you be like, man, this is just syrup and just more syrup water. Because that's what soda is. Syrup water with syrup. Yeah, so those are the ones I have beef. Any other beef? I mean, nah. We said good ushers and bad ushers already.
Black praise and worship versus non-black praise and worship.
You know what's funny is, man, like, I don't want to go too far, but I think that's one thing that's successful at my church is being able to offer both. And it's only because we have both. And what do you mean? Sometimes we be singing traditional black songs, that you've heard in church all your life. So. But boy, we will turn a corner. Like we'll go from that, and we'll go straight CCM, like this, and it's crazy. But I think it's dope because whatever your congregation is, I think your worship should reflect that. So if you got a bunch of Spanish people in your congregation, you ain't gonna have no songs in Spanish or something that they relate to. Of course you will, if you're keeping it 1,000. Even though you may have a lot of black people there too, but because the black people there, but you're not gonna do their songs either. So you're gonna do their songs. You're gonna try to accommodate everybody.
Yeah.
But that's always a thing, But I think you have to work it out based on the congregation. But if you go to a predominantly white church, you're gonna get that, bro. You're gonna get, you're gonna get a certain style. And you go to a predominantly black church, you're gonna get a certain style.
Yeah, we'll hit you. We'll hit you with some when we all get to heaven, and then turn around and hit you with some casting crowns, but it had a black swag.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, yeah, I know this song, but
if our musicians get a hold of it,
with the black swag.
Nah, I try to appreciate all of it. I try to, But there was a time where I felt like it was being forced, as like one side being better than the other. I think I probably seen both ends do that. But I remember when people was trying to push them hymns as being, better than everything. And I'm like, I don't know. Especially that nigga that owns slaves. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Especially that dude writing hymns that owns slaves. Okay, this one right here, he repented and he stopped selling niggas right here. Right. So I'm with him. He's all right. But this other guy right here, he was, still preaching and being like, nigga, go get my pillow when he get into the house. I'm like, so. And people try to argue, well, he was just a man of his times. I mean, everybody was doing it. No, everybody was not. Matter of fact, somebody picked up a book and read that this was going on in a place that they were from and was like, wait a minute.
Like, did he have on a sheet when he was writing this?
Yeah, so we had to struggle with that. And that's just a real thing. I think us as African Americans and as Christians, this is something that we deal with. And I apologize for the harsh language, but I'm just being. I had a candid conversation with my friends, and I'm sorry because these are the things that come to mind, and I want to, I kind of want to share that on this journey. It's kind of challenging when you grow up in a country that. That was rooted in racism, and then people took their racism, twisted things with the Bible, left a crazy mark just in this country, not just, I'm not talking about all over the world, even though it's a mess there, but it did damage here to where, we still got to deal with it today. And it's all good. I'm not denying Christ because that don't have nothing to do with the gospel and what Jesus came and did and all that remains what it is. But how we fleshed it out and how we live it out here in America, it's had its challenges, man. And we just talked about black worship and white worship. That's some American stuff. When people start talking black and white and age and wrong, but yet we supposed to be some kind of, great experiment melting pot where we're all working together. I don't know. When it comes to the church, I think like we said, there's room for growth, as they say. But I will say this, it's still important, and I can't stress it enough, to have a church home. And if you're out there floating around and don't have a church community, I highly recommend it as a believer. It's a lot of people I see now in 2024 that profess faith in Christ, but in the same breath talk about, but they don't need to go to church or, it's a lot of that.
Killed everything.
You think that's when it cracked?
Man, I've heard some preachers, pastors, it was like, bruh, after that, when that pandemic hit, shoot, like half their congregation didn't come back. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real.
No, that happened to, a lot of, and I did hear a lot of pastors talk about that did happen. A lot of people didn't come back, and a lot of people fell out as well because of the whole no mask or I'm pro-mask and all that kind of stuff. And same thing with the vaccine, pro-vac. Now, and you pro, I'm out of here. And I thought that was weird. That's a weird reason to leave church. But if you really connected, I just, So yeah,
they got caught. That online church.
Right.
Boy.
Yeah, that blew up. Good. That blew up.
Church got good.
It was cool for me because, in a sense, I got to peer in at other people's churches and how they was doing stuff. That blew up. But at the same time, I see how it hurt. Because even at my church, we cut it out for a while because they wanted people to start coming back. When they wanted people to start, it's like, let's cut it. We just recently went back to showing our service. Think about it since the pandemic to now, towards the end of the pandemic to now, we weren't even showing our service. Full service, you would just get to preaching. That's it. We just went back to that now, about 2 weeks now.
Is that by design or is
it was designed originally? It was by design, and that's my point. It was requested because people wasn't coming back to church. They had got used to just being online, so they figured out, oh man, we got members who not sick. Shut in. They like this, sitting at the house getting everything, getting the announcements and everything. And I remember it was a few times me and my family had our pajamas on with church boo. We're like, wow, this is kind of cool. But it was we weren't meeting though, you know what I mean? And remember they had the little video, the intro videos that it was made, and so we sitting at the house having breakfast, like, wow, we
every
finna
Sunday
really
prayer breakfast.
Yeah, every Sunday.
Wake up and watch it, eating fish toast and omelets. Like, I can eat fish toast and omelets and listen. All right.
We jacking ourselves up because now we done got used to eating and watching church. What are we doing? We never was doing this.
Right.
Wasn't sitting and eating and. But yeah, that was. So I agree. I think after that time, Bookie, you right. We haven't really recovered from that in people. But I hopefully we can do something with a lot of conversations and some of this dialogue to help encourage that. And then I wanted to end with this because, a couple of things, with two things. One, what are you guys currently reading? None of us, I think, are reading anything. James, are you reading something right now?
Yeah.
What are you currently reading right now?
Just finished this joint called Practicing the Way by John Mark Comer. And it basically talks about how we have a crisis in the way we disciple. Like, we are not presenting the gospel as follow me. Several times Jesus said, you come be my disciple, which in that day, if you go back to that day, that would be a high honor for somebody to say, hey, come follow me, be my apprentice. And really, that's the gospel call is, of course, the forgiveness and all the things that Christ did, to bring us back in reconciliation with God. But the point is the relationship. The point of it is the relationship. It's not just him dying and resurrecting. The point of this is to be reconciled. And you're to be reconciled as an apprentice is what the book was trying to say. He used the word apprentice a lot. He drove home the idea that we should be in an apprentice role with Christ. And it's really good because it's not the way that we normally talk about the faith. We talk about the faith as believing, getting saved, and then it gets a little blurry for a lot of us. We don't necessarily know how the process should look. But if you know what an apprentice is, if somebody's a plumber, you follow them around, you learn how to do it. If somebody's an appraiser, home appraiser, you follow them around, you learn how to do it. And that's really what the book drives home. It's called Practicing the Way, John Mark Comer. And he speaks our language, it's a current It's a current version of something we've been saying for decades and centuries. It's a current version that's really good.
Yeah, I am looking forward to a couple of books, and I have them on pre-order already, and one of them is Preston Perry's book, How to Tell the Truth. How God Saved Me to Win Hearts, not just arguments. And so brother is a very strong apologist and evangelist. I see, based on his videos and stuff that I see on his work, and of course I know him originally as a poet,
right?
One of the OGs out there doing that, and
Lyricist Lounge from way back,
from way.
Jackie Hill Perry, Blair,
same thing.
Everybody from way back. And Ezekiel, man, we was around for all of that.
For real. Jackie, his wife, did the Before It, which is kind of dope. They have that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. And then my secular pick is my boy Charlamagne the God, Get Honest or Die Lying. I'm looking forward to that because he is going to touch on a theme that I'm agreeing with, and it's us getting off of just being kind of like addicted to small talk, like, and not bigger conversations. And it's so easy. I mean, I know for me, it's easy for me to get caught up in the small talk and frivolous things, and things that don't really matter. And it's double the challenge, I think, for me as a believer, because it's like, man, you could be doing something better with your time a lot of times, but I'm challenged with wasting it with small talk. So I'm looking forward to that, reading that, and growing in those areas with those. So that's what I'm looking forward to. And Buki, you like me,
Man, I ain't read none since Urban Apologetics, Eric Mason. So we read that in the book club like 3 years ago.
Which was live. That book club.
Yes. Mason supposed to be putting something out, a new one out.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Look for that.
I read that. I'm more of let's get the summary. I'm gonna let AI tell me the summary.
Tell you the summary. That's a good idea. We're gonna be, we finna be using AI so wrong.
I've been reading Pilgrim Progress for about 6 years now. I probably read a chapter.
I could never read that, bro. I'm gonna tell you, I could never read it, but I enjoyed it listening to it. Max McClain's version of it, his audio version, dope. I'm telling you.
Did it bring up the words like to current so you could kind of keep up?
Yeah, it's edited, and he tells you that at the beginning. This is not like, this is built to not lose you, and it worked.
No,
I was like, it don't.
I might have to try that.
Yeah. Maximum. But I want to end with this one. This was the one though. Like, what are you guys? And I share mine. But what are you guys doing? Or what do you guys have found to be very edifying and helpful as far as daily devotional time or daily reading or whatever you want to call it? Because again, I know the devotional time, people argue that's not biblical. What do you mean by that? But it's just really constant feeding yourself the word. What has worked for you guys, or what books or what you listen to or whatever? What is something that you can say is currently helping or has helped?
For me, it's like I said, I be heavy on the social media.
Yeah.
And so, E-Mace is my guy. Just plain and simple, bro. I mean, like, I fall in that line, that category of like, his whole movement reaches me. You know what I'm saying? Because if I'm that, I want to say lived hood life kind of guy. You know what I'm saying? That he preaches from the word and he used topical preaching at the same time. It's a great blend of both. Because sometimes you just get the preachers who just preach the scripture and nothing topical, just Jeremiah 3-4, we're gonna read these scriptures and I'm just preach these scriptures to you. And sometimes I get lost in that, be like, like James said earlier, sometimes I get a little, less interesting. You know what I'm saying? I just want to put it that way.
Yeah.
But like sometimes I need that topical preaching, bro, for real.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And sometimes I need, what the word of God says, this is what this means, this is what this Christian, but sometimes I need something that's gonna help me through that day, you know what I'm saying? Or help me navigate my marriage at that time, or how to deal with my kids at that time, you know what I'm saying? Or just how to navigate, like, life is tough right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm getting hit with situations like, I'm getting, and
basic
I
life
just need
stuff.
that basic life stuff that's just going. Sometimes I just need some straight encouragement, and you know what I'm saying. And so, like, in the morning, I can flip that on, go through what he said, or I like to listen to dates too. But they got such bad audio on there. I be trying to listen, and it's like, you got like Tubi audio.
That's why that stuff got that. That's important.
Like, come on, man, y'all too big for this, bro.
Y'all too big for that. Yeah. I think for me, what helps for me is I'm always like, and I don't know, this is just what I found to work over time, is me listening to sermons. Just me starting, and I remember when I first did it, I have literally, I believe it or not, I have literally listened to every one of John Piper's sermons that's available online. Like, just from years of just waking up in the morning, and that's one from working early and getting up early before I even start, because I'm an early bird, and giving myself that time that a lot, like you said, a lot of people ain't got that hour or whatever. But because I would get up and drive a lot, I would have that time waiting. Like now, I'd be charging my car, so I got that time that I'm charging to use that. And it's Keller. It's not Piper now. Now it's Keller. I'm going through all his stuff, but I found that to be very effective for me. It's a sermon. You can hear one different, and it's like, take advantage of it. I feel like, for me, because I am an audio learner, and I'm functioning in a way where I may not be able to sit with my Bible, but I can sit in the car and I can get my Bible on my phone and go along with a sermon. But they also speak in a way. Piper, I think, helped me understand how a heart should be, like, really, really passionate towards the things of God, and how that happens, like how that actually, happened. And he was helpful. And Keller now, just what's so wonderful about him is it doesn't feel like Sunday morning. It feels like just somebody discussing things about the Bible, and I'm just plainly, I'm not trying to hype you up. I'm just sitting here explaining it. I'm using all kind of illustrations from art and movie and books and TV. Yeah. But I'm just explaining it. So that I found to be helpful. And then, for me, going through, like we were doing not too long ago, Proverbs, always revisiting that. And mixing those two, those have just been, I've been the most consistent with that, and that's just helpful, and it's very easy access to it. How about you?
Mine is just showing up. That's really what I can remember from all my days since coming to faith, coming to really taking this faith serious. I remember always being at Bible study, always being at Sunday school, always being at Sunday service. That's the only thing I can remember that I consistently did. I fell off in all the other areas that you need to grow, but I found myself at Bible studies and somebody would say something that I was not thinking about or had never heard before. So being in those spaces, not even wanting to be there some days, I'd be tired, I'd be irritated, I'd be in a bad mood, I'd be in a sinful state, but I still would show up. And then the preacher would preach something right on my street, and I'd be like, yo, God can see me in this dark place in my life. And he's making sure these sermons line up to make sure hey, son, I see this in you. I see where you are. It's not a good space to be. You're going to have to deal with this at some point. in those moments, even though they were embarrassing and hurtful, sometimes it was encouraging to know, like, even my dark days, the sermons might line up, the Bible studies might line up, and then you go through different stuff at the Sunday schools, and that's all I think I've done right, honestly. I've just fumbled so many different bags, so many different ways as a believer. But one thing that God always gave me grace to do was just show up. You don't have to want to be here. Just show up anyway. And you'll be surprised. Like, I was always surprised, oftentimes surprised how he would just speak into my like moments where I'm ready to just deconstruct and just leave the faith completely. Moments where I don't like where we are in this book. I don't want to be in this book no more. Y'all won't, just in a bad space. And he would just speak to me anyway. I'm like, man, I'm glad I'm here. So that was it. Just showing up for Sunday school, Bible study, and Sunday service. It kept me going. I don't know if I would have made it on my own without that. I doubt it.
For the last 2 weeks though, for me, I've been on my way to work. I've been on third day. I know that ain't like scripture, whatever, but it is scripture in the songs though. Yeah, like right. Mountain of God. I was thinking. No lie. I was thinking the other day. I was like, man, I remember me, James, we was on this third day, this Revelation, yeah. Mountain of God. I was listening, like, Mountain of God didn't carry me for like the last 6 days, bro. Like,
that's right. I feel you.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Man, this journey is long, this road is hard, but you was there, but you been there for me. You gonna help me carry on, for real, because like, man, sometimes life just get rough and hard. You be like,
tell me about it. Yeah. Tell me about it.
And so it actually is being encouraging. I'm at work and I'm playing. I'm just like, yo,
Well, I mean, it is helpful. I mean, it is biblical that music helps us do just what you're saying. Get through tough times.
Do y'all have any new music that does that? Like, I just put my daughter up on the Switchfoot album, the original Switchfoot, like the one that blew up, Beautiful Meltdown. Beautiful Letdown, and she was blown away. Like, yo, what is this? And it's like this was the album for a moment, for a couple of summers, however you want to look at it. Yeah. And she was like, yeah, this is dope. And then she started putting me up on stuff, and I was like, oh, okay. And she got her playlist, right? But have you all heard any albums that really do like impact you the way the classics used to? Like, What You Looking For from Kirk Franklin? That joint was just banger after banger. Remember that? What You Looking For?
Yeah.
Lecrae, Anomaly, and some of these other, like Fred Hammond, Pages of Light. Like, some of these albums are crazy from start to finish. Y'all know any albums like that that's from maybe the last 5 years or so?
I'm trying to think.
I don't know if I've done justice to really looking for any. I've looked for some stuff.
I know I haven't, me personally, or I'm trying to think what
that Corinne Hawthorne joint, that Look at God, I think it's called Look at God. That joint go. I think that go from start to finish with it.
What's the old girl name? Lauren Daigle, what her name is?
Lauren Daigle.
Like that album that she had put out. That joint is all. It does something for me. I've been in like my CCM bag really. But yeah, I Trust in You, all that, like. I think I'm just in that moment in life. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
We all go through that stages right now. It's like, I'm trying to work. I'm working a job and a half, second job. I'm in school trying to finish my master's. So, you know what I'm saying? I got a son is about to be a senior. I got a daughter about to go into high school. It's just like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just in that, situation. I need it. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So, that's where I'm at right now.
Well, thank God for good problems, boy. You got good problems. Got a lot on your plate, but it's better to have a lot on your plate, boy, than not have no plate at all and be looking for it.
Man.
Something. I'm just saying it could be worse. And that's not to minimize, people's struggle, because it's still, rough. It can be rough. Because like what like they say, more money, more problems, and that's what happens a lot of times. We gain more, we get more, but it's more responsibility, and it causes more chances for more losses because you got all this extra stuff that can cause issues.
New levels, new devils.
Yeah, and
I feel that.
Me and T, just coming out of a tough, season. Thank God, like for the stuff that we're involved in. It's kind of like it's up in it's turning to the busy season. Is swinging to that now because of summer coming, and then short-term rental business, brother. They have seasons, and sometimes it gets very slim. And what you got to get used to is when it gets when it's cracking like it's now, stack. What we like to do in the beginning was, oh, it's cracking, we got all this money, let's go open up some more. And not knowing, like, nigga, when they're gonna come. I remember that Porky Pig cartoon where that nigga didn't work and he was like working Kuwait and everybody else was working and he was chilling and winter came, boy. He didn't have nothing. And I'm like, you gotta know that. And so we learned that. I think you live and you learn. I mean, it was no way to find out until we found out. And we had, enough sense to do that, but you just, in the moment, you be like, shoot, we can go on and get another one. And you can. But what's going to happen when it gets slim and all of them need money?
Bills still due. All that stuff still due.
And we're like, hey, guys. We're in the meeting like, hey, guys. Well, bills are due, and looks like we're going to have to come out of our pocket this month. That's not what you go into business for, to be, like, piecing up on. But, I mean, we live and learn, and it's cool. So, trust me when I tell you, brother, tough. Mother-in-law finna come, too. That's finna be interesting. She's finna come and be here for a minute. Just for Lisa's graduation and stuff. And we had some different arrangements, but now she's gonna be right here with us. It's cool peeps, though. Cool peeps.
I've had seasons where that what the scripture say when I seen the what do you say when I seen the prosperity of the wicked, I almost slipped and fell. I been there a few times.
Yeah.
Like, oh Lord, let me keep my balance.
Yeah, you relate. Yeah, we can relate to a lot of scriptures like that. The boy said, see the wicked prosper, boy, can make you weak sometimes. Boy, you like, But that's all right, though. In due time, I'm telling you, I done seen enough Bill Cosby and Diddy and all this in due time. We're like, all right, thinking this, you gonna be brother love and you finna get away with all kind of crazy stuff. All right.
But you know what's crazy though is when you feel like that, and because I had made a post on Facebook, I think it was last week or something like that, and I had said something to the point where we're like, have you ever like just talk to God straight up and then like turn around and boom, he just give it to you like, yo, like what? Oh man, you're like, you actually hearing me? I thought, what your boy said, like heaven feel like a iron. Yeah, but now and it's just like, yo, like you've been taking care of me this whole time, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like you have never let me down. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And I've had feeling, moments. I've had moments like that. Yeah. It's just like, hey, your word is true. You said you're gonna do it. You know.
Yep. And he does, and it blows our mind. Mm-hmm. Well, brother, that is our time. I appreciate this one being the first episode. We're gonna polish this up. It'll have segments and all kind of good stuff in a minute. But right now, we just want to, get the conversation going, and we want y'all to lock in, tell us what y'all think, and share it. We want to just be able to have a place where we can talk like you've heard for the last hour and a half. And if you feel like we feel and agree, we just ask you to come along with us on this journey. Now, some of y'all know us. For y'all that's listening and you listened this long, I know you rocking with us. And we would just ask that you would share it to, all your social medias if you out there, to like-minded folks. And we most definitely know that, again, we are very bad at this. And we know we are. And if you're listening this long, you're like, this is pretty bad. And we're doing good. But we want y'all to rock with us. Anything else y'all want to say? And to keep people locked in? And where y'all at? What's your socials? Your socials. Social media.
I think it's Boogie98. I know I'm Chalky White on one.
No. Any of that. And you were...
I'm in James No Games.
That's right.
I'm Boogie98 on Instagram. Boogie98.
I'm Jerrold with a J on Facebook with the old folks home. I'm at the senior citizen at the senior citizen home online. It's Facebook. I dips into the Instagram and TikTok. TikTok I get all my recipes from. They be coming with the fresh recipes. I'm with them. But we appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for listening in, and hear y'all next time. See y'all next time. Next.